Today I'd like to talk to you about our upcoming research paper. This is a theory paper consisting of 4 communication theories. Your job is to choose 2 theories and to research those 2 theories, and then you come up with your own theory by combining those 2 theories. So you'll choose 2 of the 4 theories, and you'll research this theory, and then you'll research this theory, and then you'll come and combine those theories, and then you'll title whatever the new theory is. You can make up the name of the combination of the theory. And I'll explain to you a little bit more about this research paper in just a second. But I want to remind you that this research paper is worth 100 points. And at the end of the semester, you're going to be doing a video presentation that you will upload to YouTube, and that video presentation will be over this research paper. And that presentation will be worth 100 points as well. So you don't want to try to skip this research paper. If you skip this research paper, then you can't do the video, and you'll in effect be forfeiting 200 points. So let me start by explaining the opus of this research paper.
Okay, this is the same copy that you have from your blackboard about our communication theory paper. If you look at the top, it says the major opus of this paper is to integrate 2 business communication leadership theories on the supplied list in order to create a new theory or perspective lens from which to view your experience. You can create a name for your new theory and describe how this may be used in your future or the field of study after you graduate. You need to find one peer-reviewed journal for each theory below, and I'll show you how to do the peer-reviewed journal here in a second, and at least 2 websites for each theory. Therefore, with 2 theories, or both of these theories, you should have at least 6 references altogether. Could be 2 references from theory 1 and 4 references from theory 2, or 3 apiece, however you choose to do this. So this paper is 5 pages. Now that is including a cover sheet and including a reference page. So it's basically 3 pages of research. Now if you look at that list, I've given you 4 different theories, and these are business leadership theories that goes along with communication. The first theory is the path-goal theory. The second theory is the leader-member exchange theory, and often called LMX. The third is the transformational leadership theory, and the fourth is the servant leadership theory. So what you need to do is you should Google all 4 of these theories and see which 2 that you really like. And if, for example, you select the path-goal theory, you will need at least 1 peer-reviewed journal and at least 2 websites to explain the theory. If your second theory just, for example, could be the servant leadership, then you will need 1 journal and 2 websites, just like the first theory, explaining this theory for a total of at least 6 references. And this is how you should construct your paper. Page 1 should be the cover sheet. This will have the title of your new theory and your name and your school. And I'll show you how to do this in a second. And then the second page, this is the summary of your theory, your first theory that you have chosen, whether it be path, goal, or leadership, or transformational leadership, or servant. You'll do some research on that for page 1, and then you'll do some research for your second theory that you choose. Then on the page 4, this will be your theory. What is the name of your theory? And what aspects are you taking from the theory 1 and theory 2? And then how do you think it will be applied in your field of study? 25 years from now, many of you may be in some type of supervision. If that's the case, what type of leadership would you like to have? And what can you take from these 2 theories? And then that last page, that'll be the reference page, also called the bibliography. This is where you will have all the journals and the websites or even books that you've used for your research. And what we need to do now is to try to look at some of these theories, and let me show you how you can use the school website to look for peer-reviewed journals. And if you notice here at the bottom, I've given you 8 steps. Now, those of you that are from different schools, we have students from Moorhead, from Eastern Kentucky University. We have students from Louisville University, usually Maysville or Community College, Bluegrass Community College, Jefferson Community College, Ohio University, and Marshall University. It all depends on what school you go to. You can still find this type of information on your school website. And if you're around the library, if you're on campus, the librarians can help you with this tremendously. But I'll show you how you can at least do this remotely from home. Okay, now I'd like to show you how to look up the peer-reviewed journals using our website. Now, you could use your school's website or the Ashland Community Technical College website. You can go under your current students, and if you scroll on down, you want to look for the library and click on the library. And every year the system may look different, but it's basically the same. And if you follow those 8 instructions that I have on the paper, it'll still get you to where you need to go. Next thing I'm going to do is scroll down to look for databases. And there's a lot of different and good little programs on here, but the databases will really give us what we need. And I'll scroll down again, and all of these are good databases, but you might want, and you can talk to your librarian if you have any questions, but I like the EBSCO databases. They kind of combine all of them together. Once you click on the databases and you click on the EBSCO, next thing you need to do is to select all of these. And what this does is there's dozens and dozens. I'll scroll down just to let you see. E-books, and e-books just for community colleges, e-books from universities, different journals. So we'll just select them all and then hit continue. Now we've narrowed it down a little bit, and before we type in what we're looking for, we want to go here and click on full text. If you don't click on full text, you may just get 2 or 3 sentences, and that's not going to give us enough to do research. And you also want to click on the peer-reviewed journals. Then we'll scroll right back up here, and now we'll type in whatever theory that you're looking for. For example, if this was my COM 252 class, we might look at the social exchange theory, and maybe theory in relationships. And if you look up here, you notice there's 181. Obviously, we're not going to be able to go through, and you won't be able to go through all of these. So you want to scroll down and just see if something catches your eye. Just scrolling down here, job characteristics, that might be interesting. Relationships among medical equipment. Okay, oh, here's one, marital relationships. So I'll click on the PDF full text. And here we go. Now what you want to do is to briefly just read this. This is what they call an abstract. This tells you what these researchers have done. They've done a research paper at the beginning to tell you everything that you should know about the social exchange theory, and then they tested it some way. So if it says what the article does, it addresses the difference between social exchange and economic exchange. Okay, and this sounds more like just a research paper. So if I was going to do a theory, and I happened in my other communication class, and I happened to choose this theory, I might look at a few of these sentences that I may want to take and use this as the reference. Now, obviously, this person's already done some references right here. So if I was going to choose this particular sentence, then I'd want to go to the bibliography and give this McDonald in 1981 the credit. But if I was just going to maybe choose 3 or 4 of these sentences here, and I wanted to cite it, what you do is if you go over to your right-hand side of your page, there should be something that says Citations. And if there's a little button, and it's actually out of this screen that you're looking at, so you can't see it, but on your screen you'll scroll down and you'll see something that says Cite. And if you click on that Cite, it'll pop up something like this. And these are your different forms, AMA, and there's some just for history. But for us, we're looking for the APA. And look at this. All this right here, this is already cited for you. It's already in the format that you need. So what you would do is you would copy and paste this and put it on your last page. You may have to retype it because it's going to be in a different font. But all of this it's easy now. It's been done for you. And then you would go back to your other page and look for another thing that might be with your theory. This might look interesting, so you could click on that. And you would do this for your second theory as well. And that's how you get the peer-reviewed. So you would combine these peer-reviewed journals here with the websites that you have been looking up and put them all together, and that should be a good synopsis of both theories. Then you'll combine the theory and come up with your own theory and put that on your last page. So now let's look at how to format our pages in APA. Now that we're finished with our research and we feel that we have enough information, it's time to start typing. And the first thing we want to do is to set our paper up in APA format. And formatting is usually the hardest thing to do. Unfortunately, if you try to Google a lot of APA formatting, it's very long and tedious. But I want to show you some shortcuts. With only a few steps, we can get our title page and the rest of our page formatted with page numbers and the running head. So the first thing you want to do is to open up Microsoft Word and make sure that you are in Times New Roman and 12-point font. Then we want to go to our first page, and before we start typing anything, start hitting enter and scroll down until we get to page 2. And there we are on page 2. Now we want to go up and hit insert, and you want to hit page number and the top of the page, and we want to choose the one that's left-handed justified. And now this is going to be the title of your paper. So you pick 2 theories and you're going to combine both theories. So I'll make something generic and I'll call it the Business Leadership Theory. And now I want to tab the page number over towards the right. Now this is important. Now if we go up under design here, you want to click on the different first page because we're going to do something different up here on the first page. So if you click different first page, then you can close out your header. Now we'll scroll back up to page 1. We want to hit insert again, and we want to go back to the page number and hit the top of the page. And we'll go back to this. And now on this one, this is what's different. On the title page only, we want to type in running head. It's kind of like a title itself. And then your name of your theory, which we said in this case it's business leadership theory, and I'll tab that over. And it does say, continue to say different first page, so let me close this out. Now if we did this right, this will say business or running head on this one, but it shouldn't say that on our second page, and there it doesn't. It just says the title. So this right here, business leadership theory, will be on page 2, and then it will go down and it will be on page 3 and page 4 and page 5, because we want this to be on all pages except for this page. That's the only one we want running head. And this seems to be the easiest way to do it. Now it's time to type in our title. I usually tab down about 8 times, maybe 9, till you if it looks in the middle. And then this is where you would type in your theory. Business leadership theory, your name. And for this particular class, it's OST 235. This could be business communication class, depending on other universities, but for all of everybody that's taken this class, it'll be OST 235, and then the name of your school. If it's Morehead State, put Morehead State here. If it's ACTC, put that here. Whatever the name of your school. Then it's time to go back down to your page 2, and now you start typing your paper. Now let's suppose that we've already started our typing of a research, and I want to show you how we put our in-text citations. If you look at this first paragraph, you notice at the first sentence it says personal employment selection involves predicting an applicant's future job success from information about present aptitudes and past performances. In APA, it's usually good format to have the last name or names of the authors at the end of the sentence with a comma and then the date of publication. All this is in parentheses and then the period. You don't have to have the page number. That's in MLA. APA, just the last name or names. If it's 2 authors or 3 authors or 4, you would type all the names of the authors and then a comma and then the date of publication. And if you notice down here, we've done this same style, same format again. Now I've got a different author and a different year. And down here, look at this last sentence. In short, good supervisors should strengthen employees' internal attributions. And I've listed these 3 authors from a publication down here. And the comma and the last or the year of the publication. And all of it is in parentheses. Now with our reference list, let's say now we've typed our first theory on one page and our second theory on the second page, and we've combined them and talked about our new theory and how we think that we can use this theory in our career, the career that you're dreaming about, the career that you would like to work in. Let's say we've completed it. Now it's time for our reference list. This is our very last page. And on this page, it's page 3, but it wouldn't be on your page, page 5. And I've typed in references. You don't want to say sources. That's MLA. So you type in references. And if you notice, just right here, I've got one reference here and one reference there and reference here. We want the references in what we call hanging indents. And they have to be in hanging indents, and they need to be in alphabetical order. The way we do hanging indents is we highlight all of these, and we go up here to this corner, and you should make sure your spacing, everything here is at 0, and we're double line spacing. See where it says special? It's none right now, but we want to put this in hanging. So I'll click on hanging and click on OK, and look what happens. It automatically puts it into the hanging indent that we need. And you also want to make sure that they're in alphabetical order, and the best way to do this is to go up here and click the ascending, okay, and we were already in alphabetical order anyway, so there we have it. So basically, this is the easiest way I feel to do the running head and to do the in-text citations and your reference list. If you need other help, you can look at Purdue OWL. They have some good resources, or check with your library. And as always, if you have some questions, be sure to email me. Good luck on your research.